All bets are off now. Everyone thinks that Vegas are going to win the whole thing. Let's find out what happens, though, because, yeah, two teams in sore need of some big wins, particularly London Chance. It's been a very dry spell for them for what feels like almost the entire game.
100%. I mean, it truly is like the series of necessity for both of these teams. London, because bottom of the barrel, it's been like more than a month at this point since they've won a series, desperate for CDL points, desperate to not end up in losers bracket. But at the same time for Vegas, 1-1 record on the split so far. The loss to Boston put him in sort of a predicament where if they fall right now to London, that could be dire. Their odds of like making it to winners bracket dramatically fall going into the major. So both of these teams really need this win. I mean, I suppose London a little bit more than Vegas, and obviously with the desk predictions, we know Vegas is going to be favored to win, but it really is a necessity for both of these teams.
Hey, anything can happen in the Call of Duty League, and it tends to do just that. In Mikado we go. Map number 1. Let's get into this one. TJ, loving to see the face cam these days. It's good to get eyes on the man. Eyes on the hard point indeed. It's kills going the way of Vegas. A little bit of time. They're looking to fight for those P2 spawns also. That's the bottom side of the minimap. Look at number 4. Ooh. That's going to be Proloot, and he's the man getting the job done so far.
We talk about cleaning up gameplay. London Royal Ravens, they managed to lose those spawns pretty much instantly off the opening break. Vegas had a cakewalk to at least force the spawns out for the moment. Now you have players all over the map, but Vegas have at least a slight edge having those, at least the first 2 arrows getting those close spawns. So always the dynamic on Mercado. This rotation ever important, and Proloot right now needs to stay alive.
See if you can do it. Nastie doesn't quite check that corner, flies up the stairs, and that's going to be an easy kill. Opening time going the way of the Ravens, but you can see that flip on its head quite quickly, unless, oh my, Asim and Paul, they find their kills, and they approach the P2. Clay picks up a pair of his own, but it's not enough. Nastie, last man up, spawns are back in the hands of the Ravens, and that's going to be their hard point for now.
It's so thematic from both of these teams, right? Vegas in a spot in hard point where like they do like the more difficult thing and they just need to stay alive, and instead they chow out. And then for the side of London Royal Ravens, the only player that's really had success is Asim, and he's the one that picks up the pieces. And then London can't hold on to the hill. Vegas just walks straight back through and get control. So a little bit of chaos at the start. Big Semtex coming through for TJ, and Scrapz now more or less by himself, working on some jumps, working on dancing, and there's a lot to work on.
At least one. A bit of work complete. Teej up next. Beautiful work out of Matty Marshall. 6-1. Force brief for him in at the hard point once again. Eyes are on the next few. The next 20 seconds is going to be an important one for the Ravens. Able to get too much more out of this? No. Proloot, good work there. Taking care of those players at the hard point. That's going to be the end of it. Next couple of 10 seconds go in the way of Vegas. Now over to the next hard point, and it's a bit of an awkward stalemate. Where is number 4 on the minimap? Where is Proloot? And where is Paul? Paul's upstairs. This could be huge for Paul. A big win here. Any more out of it? Damn, son, it was close, but no cigar. Teamwork there from the Ravens. That's their point.
And Paul out there making a sneaky play. It looked like Vegas, based on the minimap, completely unaware that there could be a player lurking and hiding in that spot. So wanted to win that rotation, set themselves up at least early on. And hey, the nade smoke is going to help Asim back in his happy place. And he does get traded, but those Vegas arrows are very far away from being able to actually contest this hill. So Ravens, for the moment, have a nice little stranglehold on the hill.
It's a stranglehold, but there's a small opening of the air, which Paul has nearly slammed shut. Good awareness now. Temp's going to make his way to the top side. Again, he should be able to deal with this. What a snap out of the menace. Gets himself the second. That is glorious. 20 seconds remaining here on tin, and it's nearly complete. Rotations are already underway, and it's Asim, the man in position. One down. Proloot, sweet drop shot, stays alive, but Paul, hello, stab it, stab, stab, gets another. Paul X, sensational 3. What a run. Completely cut Vegas in half.
Completely broke him down, and now just has to be the cutoff man. He can take his time, play in a corner, and let the kills come to him. TJ's underneath him, but his teammates are there for the help. Scrapz is picking up pieces along the way. And right now, Paul in prime position to keep the Vegas players out. Proloot, though, makes a nice little jump up spot to at least open up the back alley. But Vegas right now, it is a full flood through the back. Nastie, he knows one direction to look.
Here we go. Ravens holding it down, looking across over the 100-point mark. So far, so good. Let's go for a quick listen in with the London Royal Ravens.
He's coming back to your back door, mate.
Back door. Main door.
Back door. Be annoying, Asim. Just be annoying.
You're coming, so I can help you understand.
That's what I'm going to go new. I'm going to go new.
I didn't hit him, bro.
Push him.
Push him.
He's going to be, yeah, he is.
Nice.
One more down.
I don't see him.
Really weak.
He went to the right.
One went dark.
Get in there.
I'm staring at dark now.
That's cool, right? I'm gonna go grab
He's on dump. He's main door, he's on door. He's on dump ready.
Yeah, he's front door.
Dark as well, dark.
Front door time. I'm going to pinch T.
Dark.
Two pinch, really weak. Big door down. Big door down. Close right on you.
Okay, one.
One shot.
I'll go.
I'm spawning
there,
there.
I'm just holding mid.
Doesn't push out blue door.
He's behind the heading.
Right, come on, work it. I'm bringing big door pinch.
Here. I spawned one. I'm gonna pinch it. Get top blue. I'm gonna pinch this.
One was dark.
I'm blocking blue there.
He could be useless. Could be useless.
I'm blocking blue. I'm blocking blue.
He's not using dark. I'm nading main.
I died somehow. Tunnel.
I'm bringing you big door.
One back.
Dead.
Back.
I'm coming.
I don't see him time.
Spawn tunnel.
Spawning out.
Mack goes back. No, he's killing him, Maddie.
Two on time.
Nice.
One more in tin and maybe some mid tin.
It's in the absolute
One
dunny.
tin.
It's in the
Yeah.
absolute
Take your
dunny.
time. Just keep him off time. Keep him off time. Right, play
Oh,
in.
rotate. Make sure we
Alright,
rotate, guys. Fuck that
Yeah,
25. We're up
Alright,
big right now.
Don't
I'm
need
gonna
to-
blue. I'm gonna sit in blue, okay?
I want stun outside. Yeah, one side, Jummer.
house. I'm spawning
Nice
house.
job.
One side, Jummer. We can
I
get
have
one.
tunnel. I have tunnel. I have
I
tunnel.
don't see him, Matt. I'm just stunning.
I'll get my tunnel on. You got my head, John?
Yo, one tunnel.
Yeah, I can only jiggle it. I have a sub, Matt.
We got P4 and one got it.
Two tunnel me. I got one.
One's blue, one's P4, one blue, one P4, one blue. There's two alleys. One more, guys.
A chance, a newfound ferocity in the London comms. Everyone's sounding good.
Yeah, no lack of energy in those comps at all. Those guys are wheeling and dealing and setting themselves up for the top Cantana hard point. New Vegas, though, trying to get the swarm on the hill, but Nastie wins the big two down low, and they clean house. Four-man wipe, nice and comfortable on the rotation, and London set up and ready to go. This lead is about to get way more dramatic than it already is.
Vegas are in trouble. This is not a good look so far. Let's see if they can get themselves out of this situation with a clean break. It's a 3-1 split. Proloot, Daddy Pop trying to make his way forward. Paul does get taken care of. The numbers starting to thin out for the Ravens. A big one again from Proloot, keeping this side of the map safe. Maybe to draw some of the aggro, get Temp in there, because Nastie, he's the lone man on the point. The spawns are flipped. This is a chunk of time you want for Vegas. It's a measly few seconds, but you need them all.
And Clayster's also by himself right here. He's able to pick up two, and the help is through the middle of the map, but Tem can't deliver, but Clay at least is going to be able to heal up in this moment. You had scattered spawns, but it looks like Vegas able to deliver on the rotation. Shouts out to Clay on the roto, and shouts out to Proloot going on a 4 spree, trying to keep a bunch of these players slowed down, and doesn't slow them down for too long. The nade's clean house. You got London hitting from the back.
Pulling it back slowly but surely now. Vegas Legion not out of the woods just yet. 40+ seconds remaining on the point. Here comes a quick contest. Ravens now amassing. They are circling. Over to the hard point we go again. It's Scrapz and Pull X. Great crossfire there. Take care of Temp on the point. You've still got Proloot here. Not able to quite get the contest continued. We're going to keep that pressure on him. Here come the Ravens. The seam on the flank. Breaking on through this one. There's 30 seconds remaining on this point. Oh my god. They might be able to get a bit of time here, but the counter-attack from Legion is on. Vegas not going out of this one just yet.
Yeah, and those just are spawns that are so difficult to manage. Vegas actually read them, but the spawns came in. They were effectively put in a pinch, and there's only so much you can do. Is right now London just taking over, man. Scrapz is 20-8. I mean, this is the Matty Marshall old main slayer that we are used to seeing. So the KD for the moment, ridiculous. The lead, comfortable, but obviously we still got a lot of Call of Duty left to play. We already know about these rotations, how important they are. P1, not a massive amount of time you're going to be able to get. That's why London are taking things slow.
Yep, take it slow. Deep breath every now and then. Scrapz has got this side of the map covered. This is going to be the focus for now, while his teammates, they have a bit of a tussle over towards the point. Clay cut down on the outside. It's a 7 spree now. Make it an 8 for Matty Marshall. The tank is a whirring. He's finding kills all over the place. His teammates are maintaining pressure. This is glorious work out of the Ravens.
I mean, right now, Scrapz is basically taking, one-on-one gunfight after one-on-one gunfight. Finally, a double chow coming through for Vegas, and it doesn't even go well. Scrapz just picks them apart. Maybe a last-ditch effort from Vegas. Clayster's trying to get down low and be a nuisance, but he just gets hunted down as the 10 spree from Scrapz continues.
10 spree from Scrapz. Trophies are out, lining up now for the hit from Vegas. They're making their way through the alleyway side of things. That's on the left-hand side of Scrapz right now. Guns will be up in a moment, but Vegas are running out of time. They are running out of options. It's time to hit the go button. Tejan Proloot now, shoulder to shoulder, making their way in. Here comes Scrapz from the downstairs. It's up to Paul, though. He gets 1 before being brought down. Here comes a hit. Scrapz makes it 11. Can't keep the spree going. The time, though, is now in the hands of Vegas. They've got the break. Better late than never, but Nastie right back in it. 1 HP. Oh, it was good while it lasted.
I mean, hey, for Vegas, though, 35 seconds. This is a lot of scrap time to get, so a decent chunk of time to slip away. And if a guy like Temp can try to set yourself up on rotation, you never know. And with 25 seconds is a lot of time for Vegas to be working with. Of course, Nastie is being annoying, gets an extra kill on Clayster just to slow this push down. But, I mean, beautiful stuff for the moment. Maybe a pinch being developed. It's Temp on one side, Clayster on the other. Unfortunately, not a lot of reinforcements. The SMGs for the moment for Vegas, nowhere to be found.
Not yet. They're making their way forward now. All four corners of the map now covered by a Vegas Legion player. The approach is on. You've got all those members of the Ravens. They are held up close on the inside of the point. This streak should be able to get at least 1 or 2 players out. Not bad. Also, oh dear, Nastie somehow got caught in the crossfire there. Bloody, where was he? We'll deal with that one a bit later on. But now it's over to Scrapz once again. Another big gunfight. We're nearly on a pro loot. The snap was there. Pro loot's in. Byron's on the time.
Hey, well, a cruise missile that kills a teammate is that small open window for Vegas to actually rotate and get inside. But again, when you talk about spawn management, this is incredibly difficult to read. London are literally everywhere surrounding this hill. And at least inside the actual point, there's only 2 Vegas members. So 10 wins the gunfight towards the middle, and his teammates deliver towards the hill. Prolu last man standing. He has the help. You get the wipe. I mean, this is what, like a 70 or 80 point comeback that's on the horizon. Vegas down, but not out. Towards Barbershop we go.
Definitely not out. You've got streaks now to play with as well for Vegas. And here they come. We're going to clear up those players in mid. It's going to get at least one. So Temps trade taken care of there. Over the 200 point mark you go. Here comes the hit on towards the break. It's Barbershop. It's going to be a tough one. It's over to TJ now. What can he find on the approach? Deady hit. Scrapz with the sweet reads. He's in position to get a few more here. Tags are there. Temp stays alive. Now the pinch on the point. 2 remaining members of the Ravens in there. It's a lineup. The kills are coming through. You got to get on the point, but no one's there. Nastie last man up. Ravens, they stay alive. They keep the lead going. And they take map number 1.
And they take map number 1 in a fashion where their KDs look the best that they have ever been this year. I mean, straight up across the board. All 4 players on London able to get a decent amount of production, able to deliver. I mean, we had what, the 11 spree from Scrapz. You had Nastie picking up pieces the entire time, and I know aBeZy has been getting a lot of praise, deservedly so, but I mean, for the time being, that was his teammates' game right there. All 4 players on the board, or 3 at least positive. aBeZy the only one negative, and he's got a decent chunk of hill time. So I think that's a scoreboard Ravens fans will be a lot happier to have. And of course, on the flip side, I mean, that is just pain and punishment for the side of Vegas. They are used to close hard-point games, but they play tight against teams like New York. Now they're playing against teams like London. 252 to 202, not that close.
Not that close indeed. Well, look at the highlights now as we get through our first map, and what a run. I mean, aBeZy, we saw sweet kills either way, but for me, man, it was Scrapz. At one point, what, 20 and 8 for him. Really clinical work again from not just himself, but the rest of the team. Ravens springing to life here in Mercado Las Almas in map number 1. But there we go, all comes to a close. Chance Vegas, what was going on, man? I mean, getting outslayed left, right, and center doesn't really help the case. Moments like that, though, Nastie having his pop-off plays, it just all seemed to go right for London.
Well, I mean, there's a certain point where the game just like got out of hand, and Vegas were just constantly playing off the back foot, which you're never gonna have a fun time doing. Once they were able to stabilize, that's when the comeback started to develop. But it was literally on that like initial rotation. Vegas had like the perfect opening break. They flipped the spawns. You had Prolute and TJ, both of your SMGs in the cantina, that they got those initial kills, and then both of them flew out, chowed a gunfight that, at least in my opinion, they did not need to. They get pieced up by aBeZy, and then they just lose the like initial money hill. So I mean, it's a lot of work that happened at the start of the game that, at least from my view, kind of just tossed it away. And after that moment, again, London just really never looked back. So the small mistakes, always costly.
Well, there we go. Look at the maps and modes here. Mikado Search and Destroy come up next. And I don't know about you, chat, but my pick'ems are chalk. The man who has religiously back to London in the last 2 series I haven't. Today might be the one where everything changes. Search and Destroy coming up next. Hotel Control after that one. Again, the desk, a lot of love for the control gameplay. Is it love? Is it tough love? Ali's been on fire today, I must admit, but she's not wrong. It's going to be a difficult series here for Vegas. Need to get a big win there. HyDra hard point after that if we have to go the distance. We'll find out though, mate, in a mo. Chance, where are we leaning for the Search and Destroy? Where are we dressing? What are we leaning towards? Is it what? Where are we going?
Well, it's just a super obvious answer, right? I think Vegas have won 10 of their last 11. I think London have lost 6 of their last 8. It would be the most Call of Duty thing ever for this to be the series where Ravens come out and just turn into gods and Search and Destroy, because like they've had some close games against top teams. Again, aBeZy has been a shining light for this squad, especially so in Search and Destroy. So the potential is there. And maybe if you want to like further that, when you're talking about Mercado specifically, one of the few maps London actually has success on, 2-1 record overall, and one of the maps that Vegas doesn't look utterly dominant on, 1-1 record overall. Their round count as well is fairly close to 50-50, so make no mistake, Vegas is without question the stronger team in Search and Destroy, but as far as maps go, I see potential for London. And just for the fact that it's been a wild week of Call of Duty games, it would not surprise me in the slightest if the #1 S&D team started losing to the number 12.
Well, that's not something everybody saw on their Call of Duty bingo card today, but we'll see if that number gets read out. Ravens coming up on what has been a very bad spree of Search and Destroy gameplay, and the opposite side, yeah, Vegas, a brilliant streak for them as well. See what happens coming up. Mercado. He's going to be our Search and Destroy. We'll see if Asim can put up the typical double-digit kill performances. Some absolutely iconic plays from him so far in MW2. And the rest of the Ravens starting to pull their weight also. For Vegas on the other side, keep an eye out on Clay. We've seen him running snipes in pretty much every map so far. He's been looking very, very strong indeed. One of the more impact-heavy sniper players when it comes to MW2. We'll see if everyone can shake off what was a very tough map in that opening run there from Vegas. Get their heads back in the game and roll on here in the Search.
Yeah, Clayster's actually been pretty sneaky. I know certainly with like recency bias, iLLeY without question looks like the most impactful sniper because he has been like a god amongst men, but at least statistically, Clayster in my mind holds the top spot because his team great at S&D across the board. I think they're winning, 55% of the rounds, but when he snipes, that number jumps up to like 65%. And obviously, when you have great teammates around you, when you have like the ridiculous clutch potential that Vegas has showed in this game mode, that does help the stats just a little bit. But we'll find out if Clayster wants to rock it here or if he wants to take things slow because he has switched it up on Mercado.
Yeah, there was a bit of a mistake there with an A throw from the opening rip there from London, so that's going to slow them down a tiny bit. Let's find out though. Scrapz is making his way on towards A. I do think Clay is sniping that mid-cross as well, so this could get ugly real quick. It does. Good God. Scrapz is in trouble. Numbers are gone. It's an absolute massacre. Pull X now on the 1v4.
All right, this is done and dusted. Goodbye. Quick round right there for Vegas, and that is, that is truly just a TJ Halley sort of moment, right? I think he struggled the most in the hard point. Maybe not the least kills, but the least damage by a decent margin. And then he just walks into Search and Destroy, open things up, and gets a 2-piece. So most TJ thing you're ever going to see. Poor map 1, instant bounce back in 2.
Instant. Those players had to take that very, very tight corner there by the tunnel because of the pressure from Clayster on mid. So good work there out of Vegas Legion. Little plays like that really help out. Clean comms gives TJ the perfect pre-aim, gets things going. Here we go. 2 kills there for TJ, 2 for Temp. In round 2 we go.
And they have everything but the bomb. Paul X has to double back, and well, I say everything but the bomb, which means they do not have trophies. And they will get first blooded already. This start that Vegas wants to have. TJ, 2 for 2 with first bloods.
Staying alive. Will he be able to get himself another kill here? Make it a 4 spree. Ravens are back on up. They are hitting the tactical retreat. TJ's going to essentially waste his dead silence here. Not that he knows that. Clay spots him on the cross. Here we go. You should see the 2-2 split now. Vegas, immediate moves. Scrapz has got the flank covered. Here we go.
Hey, what the hell happened at the start of this round for Vegas's opening break to leave a sub in Clayster's hand? I'm not prepared for this, but Clay is prepared for the rotation. He's got the covering fire from Temp just above him. They know all these players are inside, and Clayster just so happens to have the perfect gun for the job and dead silence potentially pop. He's making moves.
Oh, here he goes. There it is. Clay with Daddy. Running the sub. Asim's got the pre-aim up top. I'm not sure if he saw a little ankle or something there clipped through the wall, but he may have. Less than 30 seconds to go, and it is a 4v2. Asim's backed on up towards mid. You've got to get something going, Ravens. Time ticking. Temps in the back line. What an awkward situation to be in for the Ravens. There's no way they could have read any of this.
At all. Temp just finding a deep pocket of the map, and now Scrapz in a 1 versus 4. It was Paul's turn last time around, and it'll be Scrapz's turn to lose this one and lose the gunfight as well, and even had a little bit of a love tap coming in. Vegas probably not too happy about the way that first Mercado went.
No, not at all. So far, though, a very, very solid bounce back here in the Search. Some extremely decisive rounds. Everyone certainly looking very good out there. I haven't seen the snipes come out just yet either, so you've still got a deep playbook for Paris or for Vegas Legion. Damn it, I'm on the board. Damn it. I've been doing so good. Don't chalk it, Bryce. We've got a tally going for how many times if Paris gets sent instead of Vegas. Damn it, I've said it twice now. Doesn't count as 2.
Bonjour.
Round 3. Damn it.
Well, that is tough, but maybe not tough for Vegas. Nades out, coordinated perfectly. Don't have a trophy, but TJ at least survives, so the coordination better on one end, but that is so many London players out, lined up, and Temp at least gets one. Does enough damage, maybe a quick chow coming through, and Proloot, yeah, wanted the quick chow, and instead is just gonna die. Nastie, though, does get trapped, and all of that awkwardness, all of that funny business for a 2 versus 2. And if Pollux is popping dead silence, maybe an opportunity for a fairly quick flank.
How quick is quick? It's all relative.
Well, he popped dead silence and moved 5 feet, so
Yeah,
look, I had higher expectations.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm just saying. Bomb going down nowadays. TJ Haley, the man behind it. Clay's got a bit of coverage now. It's going to be basically it's watch either way. Hope they don't come through mid at the same time. The Ravens are slowly creeping into action. Here we go. Paulex on the right-hand side of the map. Scrapz is going to be coming through middle in a moment. 30 seconds.
Yeah, all about the timing here for TJ. That stun's going to give the game away, actually. And, yep, as soon as you stun, TJ doesn't even have to check it. Clayster could just look over his boys. So, an opportunity where you accidentally give away the information of where you are. And Scrapz trying to show off a glitchy little spot, but outside of gunning 2 players instantly, literally nothing you can do. And a perfectly played 2 versus 2 coming out of Vegas. And TJ doesn't drop the ball in the final moment. Does get snaked, does get gunned, but you got the round win. Vegas are going to be up 3-0.
There you go. 3 straight rounds for Vegas. A bit more of a cerebral approach, a little bit more, you know, action-packed attacks from them. They're looking a lot stronger in search and destroy. Ravens, you got to be feeling great after taking that very dominant hardpoint to open things up. But for now, you're still on the struggle bus. All aboard this double-decker struggle bus for search and destroy. The ability to turn it round is still there, but you have to get on the board first.
I mean, technically that round 3 was closer than the first 2, so at least no 1v4s, but even in the 2v2, it's like the smallest of things that Vegas will take full advantage of. But finally, a first blood by way of London. Nate coordination is there, and they've made this play call before where they show their like face at B and just go for the instant wrap out. But Clayster, he's going to see everything again. It is the exact same play, but fortunately for Vegas this time, just working a man down. And now Gracer, or maybe it's the double bait. Maybe this is some old Moscow strats coming in as they're trying to catch these players off guard. They know that they've been spotted, so they're waiting to punish these players on mistake. Number 3 is getting hunted. They spotted TJ. And look at the oscillation on the map. Ravens playing mind games.
Here they come from Moscow all the way to Mikado. Prelude, here's it. Gets gunned, seems fast out of the gates. The Ravens get themselves their first round here in the search.
That's beautiful as well. I mean, simple stuff, not the craziest of play calls, but doing it incredibly well towards the end. I think last time they knew that Clayster, again with the Vaznev, spotted them on the cross and were more prepared to go back over towards Tin. So they just hit him with the double fake out, wait for those players on Vegas to overcommit, because obviously if you're in a 3v4, you have some information to work with, you're gonna try to make a play. So they're just able to isolate the player, trying to make the play on the flank in TJ and at least get 1 round through.
Needs up. Trophies there going to help everyone out. Ravens have not been hit by any of this yet, so for now they've got full strength going into the fight. It is going to be a 3v3 on the inside of the bomb site. My good God, madness. Here's a finish ringing. Here comes the last stun check. Attempts managed to hold on to his Semtex. They might be helping, very helpful indeed in clearing this top floor, and that is where the Ravens are.
I was going to say, no one's going to be prepared for a seam up here, but prepared or not, TJ wins the gunfight, but technically a trade does come through. Scrapz finds the pick on Proloot, so still 3 versus 3. And a normal, stable round, 50 seconds, plenty of time, but Scrapz, by the way, on a 5. He is looking for that cruise.
Successfully broke the kill record in a hard point at 11. Now he's looking good in search. That's number 6. Temp's got the guns up, waiting for him to hit the peak. Will he go for it? Shoulders thrown. Definitely got spotted out. To straight out 1v1. 25 seconds on the clock. Tags are in. Clay makes it now a 2v2. Scrapz is holding this one down, though. What resolve? Temp's got to make a play. He does. He gets the win. That's big. Over to Paul. Gets gunned as well. Vegas squeaky clean.
Yeah, and a smirk on Clay's face as well, because he finds that first pick on Nastie just to turn it into a 2v2. And, I mean, there is no time left on the clock, essentially. 20 seconds left in that moment. Not really a moment for Vegas to try to get the bomb plant down, but they just collapse. London not able to make the play. No repositioning coming through. They stuck to the game plan through and through, and Vegas just able to pick them apart. So even in some of these close rounds, Vegas is just one step ahead.
Hey, one step ahead has got them to 4-1 so far. How far can they go? Or will the Ravens be able to hit a bounce back? They pops up towards top 10, got himself a bit of space to work with. Definitely made a lot of noise.
Oh, look at this guy. Okay, sure.
Definitely made a lot of noise, though. But for now, this spot...
Well, number 6, by the way, though, ignore the spot. This spot doesn't matter. Number 6 on the flank, Nastie, just got through for free. He's going to have at least one free kill in his lap, and the question is, what does he do after it? Well, there's the first one, ready for the next gunfight, and he can just be isolated. I think maybe Clayster is going to be responsible for hunting him down, but Nastie's making the read.
Oh, making the read's one thing, winning the gunfight is another. Ravens. They may have been a step behind, but that time they changed the moves altogether. Nastie, great work there. Somehow managing to slip the net, picks himself up 2 round winners. Here's Paul with a snipe right off the rip.
And you see Paul was 0-4, so he was sitting on the donut, wants to switch things up, so pull out the sniper and see if you can get the freebie, and middle map control is always useful, and by the way, that's effectively how Nastie was able to get through towards the end. A couple things get left open on the map. Vegas trying to be a little bit cheeky with the spots, but they find the opening, find that extra round, and at least when London get the first bloods, they've been in a solid spot. We'll see if the nades connect with a kill, but instead it's just for damage. And TJ, that is so many stuns coming through. I'm thinking about a quick chow. He's going to go for it. You got trades back and forth. Looks like it was actually 10th it falls. Clayster, though, is able to find the picks towards the middle cantina, and again, London just get bullied off this A site.
Yeah. Ooh, can Clay be seen from there? Definitely from that angle. Nastie lines him up again. They go for another 1v1 this time, a little bit more even. Paul X has managed to find himself timing on this. He's in. Big kill. Fast attack now. Denny gets reset. It's a second from Paul. Absolutely brutal attack here. Might be able to catch one more out. TJ with dead silence of his own, looking to make it a 1v1. Bombs in his hand, and he's gone. There was a couple of shots rung out. This is a absolute nail-biter of a 1v1.
And I think TJ might be playing with it. Waiting for the rotation, catches him out and guns him down. Difficult shots with the vast net, but TJ delivers, and Paul X right there, maybe a little bit too hot for his heels. Just gets caught on the rotation, and a hell of a play from TJ to clutch that 1v2. And we mentioned the clutches at the start of this S&D. One of the main factors why Vegas has been so good in Search and Destroy is when they have an advantage in the round, they execute almost perfectly when the rounds are close. In these 2v2 nail-biter situations with 20 seconds on the clock, Vegas make the good plays, and when they're in a bad spot, when TJ's in a 1v2 situation, they clutch those as well.
Great clutch. Not a soul to be found towards the A-bomb site. Clay's got a sniper looking towards mid. MCPR in hand, and there's a lot of noise, and there's not a lot going on in the smoke. Oh, no, misses a sitter against Paul. That would have been ideal. Scrapz with the first blood. Massive change here as the Ravens have gone over towards B, and no one from Vegas has been found too wanting. Now, TJ still, oh my good God, finds himself a second in that spot. A seemingly impossible gunfight, TJ Halley somehow brings to life 2v2.
Yeah, 2v4 to 2v2 in a matter of a half second. TJ continually making these plays in S&D, and the bomb plant not even entirely being given up for free. Proloot maybe didn't quite have the angle, so it will go down, but Proloot and TJ working together. Dead silence popped.
Another deadly pop to play here for T. He's going to be able to check every single possible avenue now. He's got eyes on a seam. That could be the round. That should be it. Can Paul now win the 1v2 to keep his team alive here on Mercado? I'm not sure if he was spotted there. He's dived. He's trying to make something happen. Can he get it? It's a 1v1 now. Tej, where is he? Dundee is... Ah! Where's the... No! What's going on? 20 seconds. No!
Oh! Oh my God!
Paul! What was that? He threw himself off of the map. What? There he is! No! Paul, you had it! And they're all laughing at you would be. You'd be giggling as well. Tej didn't have to clutch. That is so unfortunate for Paul. He made a great dive, a sweet play to force the 1v1. But my good God, not like this.
I mean, look, that is a map that it is almost difficult to die by falling off of, and you expect Clayster to be the one that finds a way to fall off the map, but maybe the spirit of his own corpse lives on through Paul X, because that was just That was not it. As soon as he made it over the wall, I was like, I'm 90% certain you cannot make it back at all unless you have some crazy hop. So, yeah, not the best game from Paul there. I mean, he started to turn things around, started to make some plays, but I think as soon as TJ clutches up in that 1 versus 2, that sort of seals the deal in the game, because instead of it being a much tighter one, another just fairly dominant search win out of Vegas Legion.
Very strong out of Vegas. Again, looking back at that moment, I mean...
Poor guy. Poor guy.
I rewatched it. I've got the Twitch stream open on the right side. I rewatched it back, and I'm telling you what, man, I don't know if he could recreate that moment if he tried. That was wildly unfortunate. Paul knows, bro. That was something. Hey. It was a good search either way, though, right? A lot of fun. 1-1 in the series now. Mikado side of the series now comes to a close. We're going to be playing Hotel Control on the other side of this break. Don't go too far, and whatever you do, don't jump off the map.
Upgrade your game with a Scump, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. Las Vegas Legion going up against the London Royal Ravens. We're tied up 1-1 in the series, and now it's time for a little look back at our Scuff Player of the Game chance now. It's TJ Haley, and I think it's technically an ace.
Yeah, I mean, look, a 2v4 that, again, he evens up the odds to a 2v2 almost instantly, and then technically the ace is the correct one. He hears a seam there for the freebie, but then Paul X, I think he breaks like 3 different laws of physics, because he like bounced off the side of the window to sort of fling him off the side, and I agree with you, Miles. I don't think you could recreate that, or that would take some effort. And I know Clayster is just saying, oh yeah, first time. Yeah, we've all been there. That's them's the breaks.
Paul couldn't do that again if he tried. And like the fact that his reaction was he had such a sort of jovial reaction to it, because it really was unbelievable. Like there's no way you could have done it. The rest of the teammates obviously devastated, but great run either way from Vegas. Good work out of Tej. We'll give him the ace. Why not? It was he couldn't have done it without a little help from Paul. Wild though to conclude the series, or conclude the search and destroy at the very least. 6-2 finish there. Over now to Hotel we go for something entirely different, ladies and gents. Ravens versus Legion. Here we go to the Breenberg, and we're checking in at either A or B.
And, you know, a 2-4 record on this map for the side of Vegas, a 2-5 record for the side of the Ravens. But funnily enough, like you see their KD on it, a 1.07 on defense. That's towards the top of the league. That's pretty elite, but still a negative round win percentage record. So this is a situation where London, they're finding the kills. Like they're putting themselves in good spots, just unable to close out a good chunk of the rounds on defense. So I'm just going to make the argument the potential is there, and especially against a team in Vegas who is not good at control. Well, really the potential is there for both of these teams.
Well, here we go after an explosive start towards B in Vegas. That's where they've posted up. They're having a great time so far. Can Nastie cook a sweet frag? It hit
yes, he can.
Right in the face. And it bounced way off and didn't kill him. So unbelievably unlucky from Nastie as the seemingly impossible series of events for the Ravens continue. But can Nastie, Jesus, son, not only did he put about 9 in the backside of Clayster there, but he almost snapped onto the next. You've still got pressure on towards B. Ah, dear God. Clay still getting it done. The second segment on its way out. Reinforcements are here. TJ not going to cut out anyone. A will stay safe.
And we would get to see how good the homework for London has been on defending the A zone. A couple teams, New York Subliners, Toronto Ultra, they've been hyper successful of defending the A zone after B gets captured. It's not an easy thing to do, but the best teams in the game, they absolutely can make it work. So London's attempt on that category, and obviously Vegas trying to get that slow approach, try to find these moments to break. Not easy to do.
26 lives for Vegas to attack this point. Just under 2 minutes to go. They're Prelude now opens the back line up, couple of kills, one more remaining on point. That's going to be a seam. If you stay alive, got to do what he can. TJ's looking for him on the hunt, gets it, cuts him down with a couple of shots there from the Vaz. Now straight onto the zone we go. Here comes the capture. Oh, 3-man stack. This round is done. There's no way. Surely not. The Ravens can't mount an attack here to get themselves on this one. There's a pit of snakes. All these bloody snakes. Get in there. Get the guns up. Oh, and his trays back and forth. You've got him off it. Clay shows up a little late. He doesn't manage to get involved in the fight, and it's not over yet.
Yeah, and Clay's trying to take his time, slow the push down, and keep those players at bay. So he's trying to be the frontline man for the squad, and the reads are good, but unfortunately on L triggers at the worst possible time. So now a 3v4 for his teammates, all trying to work through the front.
Wind up for another go here on A. Single segment's all that left. 20 lives now for Vegas. Here we go. I think you saw him. Doesn't make a wheel of difference as TJ 1 HP cut down finally. The remaining 2 members of Vegas, it's going to be still alive in the play here. It's 10 from Prelude. Big win out of Prelude. Now onto the point. Here we go. Slow and steady capture. He's almost doing it alone. Now he's flying totally solo. And now he's done. Another good hold out of the Ravens.
That's a tough gunfight win from Nastie as well, because Nastie didn't have anything to snake on, but what he does have is the potential cruise missile in the back pocket. He's on a 5 spree, and as long as you're pushed up in a kitchen, you're feeling a little bit more comfortable about your odds of clutching this up on defense. And Paul making the play as well through mid. Should be able to find number 2, takes down Clay, and I think now all focus is towards the back. It's the double flanks coming through, getting dealt with. And hey, we were thinking about the Nastie cruise missile. How about the Paul cruise missile? And there's it for Nastie as well. So double streaked up and ready to go.
I can't believe it. There's a couple of streaks ready to go for the Ravens, and now you've got 20 seconds remaining in the round. 10 lives left for Vegas now to keep going here, but they've got to get themselves through the middle of the map. There's plenty of Ravens players there. Scrapz and a seam flying forward. No fear whatsoever. Final 10 should be the round. And after a valiant open there from Vegas, they just could not quite get the foothold in on A they needed.
I'd say right there for London, have to give them a solid, what, B+ for the homework on defending the A zone. I know initially it got broken down instantly, and Vegas had an opportunity and they got the 2 ticks on board, but at least the swarm after the fact was efficient, and after they got the second sort of setup around the point, they never looked back. Nastie goes on a 6 or maybe more spree. Paul X does the exact same thing, so double cruises in the back pocket, which admittedly on this map, not the most impactful thing in the world, but certainly a good sign as the respawns for London. They've absolutely been slaying.
Keep the slaying going into round 2 now. Vegas on defense. They're going to be holding down both A and B. It's over to the Ravens now to try to punch their way through these zones and maybe even kill 30 members of the Vegas Legion win the round as well. Heavy stack over towards B now for Vegas. Looking at the opening break. A little bit unfortunate with team fire there. Nastie says, sorry, bro, I'm on a 7. It doesn't count towards the 8. Oh, Clay! He did actually potentially get stuck there, but the trophy saved him as magic. Absolute magic. He's still keeping this gunfight going, though, over towards the zone.
And Nastie really taking his time. I think London are trying to force this B zone capture through, and this has been a decent bit of time without stopping the clock, but if you can win the gunfights, there's the opportunity instead. This has been 40 seconds that have gone by and only 4 deaths apiece for either team, so London are taking their time. They don't have a lot of time to play with.
40 seconds, that's exactly how much time they've got. We're still waiting to get on it. Big wins. You got an open field to play with right now. TJ, the last man, just roaming around looking a little sneaky, but for now I think we're going to be going over towards A, and that's going to be a big one out of Paul. He's got to win a gunfight. Damn, Temp with 3 in the feed. That is it. The dreams of hitting A are getting even more real. You're about to wake up. 20 seconds. Nastie doing what you can. Backline cleaned up. Now you get on A. You better hurry up, boys. It's going to take a minute for Vegas to get across the map, but for now you need to do what you can to get them segments and hopefully get the full thing.
I mean, that might be the longest time it's ever taken a team to actually set foot on the hill. There's like a minute and 15 seconds before a single toe is dipped on the point. So strange stuff, but that A zone does get captured incredibly quickly. So at least when you touch it, you grab it. That's all London were really asking for. And while they do get picked apart after the fact and stuck back in their spawn, I mean, hey, if all they need is that one open door, that one opening moment to capture a zone, they now have a minute to set that up at B.
Trades nearly done. Pro Loop still behind enemy lines. And all this is doing is slowing down the Ravens. Great work. Feed in information, getting tags in, slowing them down. 50 seconds now to go. Over towards B, but again, it is Fortress Legion. Not letting anyone get through. Scrapz finally gets a bit of an opening, and Nastie gets an opening out towards the street side. And he should be dead after that one. Oh, big win. Nastie stays alive. Okay. Closer and closer you get now for the Ravens.
I think, what, maybe 2 or 3 players through mid, or someone's going top bedroom. TJ trying to cut him down along the way, and him and Clayster able to deliver. They know that Nastie is behind enemy lines, and they know the next person's in top bedroom, and that's why Clayster able to take it slow, but he gets caught in London. Now the front door is wide open. They can get to this B zone.
Oh, damn. Nastie with the hops. Right onto the point we go. This is a 3-man stack. TJ invests the streak. Is there going to be a trophy system in place on the point? I hope so. He's going to bend it. Not quite like Beckham. Is there a trophy now? TJ wipes the board clean. A perfect use of the streak. Oh my god. Well, at the very least, you got 2 segments, so good stuff. Last 10 seconds.
Not over.
It does look like we're going to get a player on it. It's Scrapz. Temp's trying to slow down the reinforcements in mid. Over to Scrapz now, trying to stay alive. There's a trophy. Better late than never. And the time is nice. Can they finish the capture on the zone? Vegas got a dive onto it, and no. 2-0. They're in control.
That is just, yeah, I'd be getting hyped too if I'm on London. Asim let him know, Nasty smile on his face, and even Scrapz was the sole man on the point behind the box, but Vegas just, the difference in Vegas between like Search and Destroy and the respawns is starting to become just ungodly. Of just like some of the situations they put themselves in and the execution, and Search and Destroy flawless. And that right there is maybe like a 10-life lead they just had on control. You get a double kill with the cruise missile on the point where ordinarily trophies just shut them down, so they have good things going their way and just cannot convert. And even in the slaying category right now, Clayster and Pro Loot both double negative. London happy to be slaying on Hotel.
Slow things down now for the Ravens. Close them out here, get that clean 3-0. Take that momentum roll with the HyDra coming up after this one, but for now, it's Operation Damage Control. You are slowly but surely getting choked out towards A. The first segment taken care of. Good work there in the perfume shop. Things are getting a little stinky for the Ravens. They cannot get themselves close to this point. Vegas doing a wonderful work. Wonderful job taking care of A. Second segment gone. They're going to be able to get this one clean. Now, can they get over to B? That's the question.
Well, London are like double flanking this as well, so they've sort of got all these players on Vegas trapped in the hill, and they're looking to at least like ramp up the slang if they can just outright stop the point, and they have. A zone not secured. Temp now the last man in line for Vegas. He gets dealt with. You try to go over to B if you're Vegas. Well, players for London are nearby, so Ravens handling the map pretty well so far, but a lot of pressure on Paul, a lot of pressure on Nastie.
Pressure's on, they win it. Both Paul and Nastie get their respective kills. Temp staying alive, keeping top bedroom sweet. Here come the reinforcements. Draining the segment A as well, so good work out the Ravens, man. They're holding this whole map down. Very good objective play so far in control. Here comes the 4v Temp 1v1. Big win out of Paul again.
And it's still Nastie, though, the guy that's top bedroom. So Vegas are trying to like play this slow, but dude, Nastie and Paul over around this site have just been menaces on the map. And Vegas have been able to, or unable rather, to find an opening. TJ finally delivers, and his teammates able to get the kills. And just like that, the dam has been broken. B zone is going to get secured, as that is a 4-man stack on the point. So it's like a lot of effort to make it happen. Vegas do convert, but the exact same situation as what we saw in the first round, where London, they just want to hold on to A. Biggest difference, though, Vegas already have 2 ticks.
Yeah, 2 ticks. And one of the cruise missiles was invested there, and sadly, the trophy system, I mean, God only knows why, but it absolutely destroyed it. So now you're safe. Now pressure on towards A. This is what Vegas couldn't do in the first attacking round they had. They could not get that final segment on A. This is it. The test. Have we learnt from our mistakes? Have we found the code? Can we crack it? Let's get it going. TJ trying to be the man to pop on the inside. Stun's going to slow him down. Nades there as well. The whole team is on the lineup here. It does look like Nastie might be going for the play. 1 man down for the Ravens. Here comes 2. They're starting to drop like flies. The third, though, Asim. He goes out swinging. Slowing everybody down.
Oh, my
I
God.
can't believe it. My God. What a win on the second. It's 3 in the feed. 40 seconds to go, and the man's about to pop a knee with these snakes.
Oh, and he knows, too. He read Clayster, and Asim just straight up made the play. Vegas just needed to play it like a round of search and get some trades, and instead they couldn't kill Asim, and Asim brought them all to hell. 15 versus 9. You still only need 1 tick, but London right back in firm control of the map.
Warrior, 20 seconds to go. Scrapz now finding a corner. Paul's got the inside covered. There's one more to be had. Okay, you've got a little bit of space to go. 10 seconds. Now time to fly, Vegas. Let it go. All chips are in. There's no going back now. Try to get on the point. There it is. Clay's the man. He's got himself in. I think the streets might be out as well. Here it comes. Can we find a little opening? Trophy system stops it. It's just hysterical. In with the point we go. Paul from the hip. Hill back. Knife! Oh,
dude, what?
4.9 seconds, and it's done. They capture the point somehow. What a ridiculous round of control.
Yeah, and I can't believe Clayster is laughing, because I would be stressing out. They should have had it won. Literally, if Asim doesn't pop the 3-piece and then get Clayster towards the end, if they just trade him out, which they should have, because TJ tagged him up and had a 1-shot, and Asim somehow just guns 2. But even with that, you get rid of an extra cruise missile, you stay alive, and you get the round dub. So Vegas certainly have some fight in them, and I don't know. That's just... these rounds are ridiculous. That's all I got. I feel like Vegas have been in such good positions in so many of them, and London have just ran them over. But game's still not over. London back to the attack, and again, the slow work on this B zone is the play call from the Ravens.
Shots out of Paul, start the round off for the Ravens. On towards B, he will now go. Heavy tags, though. He's not in a great spot. Yeah, basically doing it all alone. Does have his teammates covering him from top bedside and bottom bed here from Nastie. So you got map control for the Ravens. Keeping them kills going your way, and who knows, this could turn around in a moment. But for here, damage control for Vegas. Don't let him out. There, oh my God, Scrapz hits the high line. Woo! Sweet hops. Anime Marshall stays alive. On to the point, we're now going to hit it, and that's another big kill. Trophies now in play for the Ravens. Has seen the last man up on this side of the map before the rest of the squad get it going. And chance, Ravens Even in the kills department, can they get the capture on B?
And all of that slow play from the Ravens, and by the way, they're doing that with a bunch of extra attack 56s on the map. They're just waiting for Vegas to overcommit and make mistakes. They're waiting for guys like TJ to go and flank and trying to execute and punish them for their mistakes, and Scrapz has absolutely been doing that, but all of his teammates fall. He's just here to try to pick up the scrap and at least takes one in the grave with him, but decent bit of effort. You get 2 ticks over towards on that B zone, so Ravens down a pretty strong spot, and especially when the slang continues to be going their way.
Nastie barely even had the regen complete, and he finds himself another kill there. So 2 spree for him now, plenty of space to go. And he is trying to cut his way through Vegas. Can't get it done though. 35 seconds remaining on the clock. Pause as we complete the capture on B. This should be done. Paul could stop this. Paul could save it. Got to get involved fast and all. Clay wins a big one up close. That keeps his own safe for a moment. Nastie's right off spawn, right into it. Should be able to close this out. B is done. A, all it remains.
And you also have players like Scrapz that are already putting the pressure over towards New, but unfortunately can't win the gunfight, and that'll be the door open for Vegas to get the setup that they were looking for. 2 players push over towards Kitchen, 2 players on the flank, but the players on the flank are falling. Temp able to win his ones, but he's going to be stuck in a pinch, so Temp is going to fall as well. So now it's 2 players for Vegas. Again, the guys around Kitchen area, they're going to be dealing with maybe 3 bodies of the Ravens.
One of the bodies is on the floor already. That's Paul laying him prone, waiting for this one. First segment on its way out. Here comes a very, very slow pinch from Clay. Who's going to play this well. Timing. Oh, God. No, that's bad news. That's even worse. The second player goes down as Paul somehow stays alive. 1v2 situation here. Any more kills out of Paul? And this is ridiculous. No. Temp ends the shenanigans. 10 lives left for Vegas, 9 for the Ravens.
And this is like, oh, maybe not likely, but a good chance this just ends on live. So every kill is going to matter. You can take things a little slow if you're London, but you have to make sure your trades are on point. 3 players through mid, maybe quite a few going to be working that flank.
And we're in. Ravens can't take care of Prolu. Awkward timing there on the hit from the C. Less than 30 to go now. You've still got numbers for London. But Prolu is absolutely ringing the necks. There's no way you can keep this one going now. It all comes down to Paul. He's dead as well. So surely now the round should be closed out. This should be enough. Prolu has gone on a whirlwind tour of the Greenberg Hotel and killed everyone in his way. The final few seconds, you might be able to get this one. Here comes Paul. Spawn, they're in. 5.5. Can Prolu continue the play? He's doing it real sneaky like Daddy's popped. His teammates are winning gunfights as well. Oh, it's a big one. That should be it done. Wait, can Scrapz get in? He does. 2.8. What are we watching, Chance? This is a 2-man stack.
And it's only TJ that's going to be nearby. And TJ, you got to fly. You're going to have to do it yourself. You're going to have to go for the solo challenge. He's trying to flank. I don't think you have time. And they just both get picked apart in the final moments. And again, London, from the depths of hell, in a situation that it feels like they have no right to win, they find a way. They get to the point, they snake their heads off, and they find the kills in the final moments. And again, 2 teams, the bottom of the barrel, in control, an opportunity for a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness, and London will have the smiles on their face.
Wow, the control problems continue for Vegas Legion, and for now, man, I mean, it was a huge amount of work put in from everyone. A Seams final spree there in, what, the 3rd round? Absolutely disgusting. Greenberg Hotel control done. 3-1 the Ravens. Here are the highlights, mostly from the London POV.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just even look into the stats. I think Clayster is rocking about a 0.5 in the respawns, both on the Mercado and here. So he has been struggling, but even just for like the clutch situations, it's just, I mean, quite literally these final moments, like so many times Vegas are like doing the right things, putting themselves in strong spots. But whether it be London being down on 10 lives, making the comeback, whether it be you're getting like 2-piece by a cruise missile and just having that one extra frontline player in Scrapz staying alive with like 4 seconds left on the clock, just long enough for the teammates to come in the back. It's just all these nail biter situations, at least so far this series, and the respawns, London have just converted.
Conversions are essential. A team that has struggled so much in closing out series or really keeping things close. Now the Ravens looking to do that little bit better. And wicked work there from Paul. These final few kills help secure that final segment, the first one, and then to get things going on the second. Trade fiesta there in the restaurant. What a crazy finish as well. Ravens, GG's to them to take care of the control. They take the lead here in the series. Now 2-1. Oh, no. These faces are heartbreaking, man. These ones, not so much.
I mean, again, it's so drastic of like the difference in ice capabilities for this Vegas team, where in S&D, there's almost never a situation where I'm counting them out 1v2, 1v3. You could throw a player in a 1v4, and if there's enough time on the clock, I'm like, hey, you never know what this guy can do. And then in Respawn, there's just like no faith and no trust. Because again, for the most part, Vegas, like they play the respawns well. They put themselves in good situations. They just don't convert. The number of like 15, 20 point hard point games that they have had that they have lost, they've been racking those up like crazy. The number of rounds, I mean, like 3 of the round losses they had in that control, they could have won all 3 of them. They set themselves up. They just cannot execute. And Respawn continuously going to be thorn in their side. And, well, Respawn is exactly where we go. We're on a map like HyDra. Last time we saw like Vegas play on this map against Boston, they were in a good spot. They had the advantage, and then Boston just like dominated on the final 2 hills of the map, and they tossed the lead away. So, I mean, we'll see. We will prepare for a nail-biter finish, because when Vegas plays, apparently that's the way it's going to go.
Find out. LCLO Search and Destroy Game 5. We've got to go all the way, and we may just do that here in the series. Who knows what kind of Vegas we're going to get. A roll of the dice going on a HyDra now. Because the Ravens got to be feeling very comfortable, very excited indeed. Can they turn that excitement into focus? What? Go on.
And I just got to say, keep in mind, when we say like feel comfortable, feel excited, if you're London, you are terrified of the prospect of seeing a map 5. So like this very much feels like a map 4 almost to decide this series, because we trust Vegas in the game 5s. I think London now have lost like 7 of their last 9 like search and destroys. So it's basically the setup. I feel like when you're playing against Vegas, of you're just trying to avoid either the nest low or just you can't afford to ever lose a respawn. As long as you win the respawns against Vegas, you're going to be fine. But the prospect of a map 5 is still terrifying.
Oh yeah. None of it yet. Now for Vegas, you've had some very interesting moments in the series already. Some unforgettable plays from Paul that obviously Vegas, I mean, they most likely had the search regardless, but can they find something special here on HyDra? What kind of wild shenanigans chance are we all about to witness as COD fans on a map with this much water?
I mean, a lot of swimming to be sure, and I think the 2 players I'm looking at, not to swim necessarily, but just in terms of like the slang. I'm looking at Clayster on one side. Again, I think he's rocking roughly a 0.5, 0.6 in the respawns in this series so far, so he has struggled. And on the flip side, Scrapz. I mean, both, like, I think Scrapz has been like fine since we've seen him on the introduction. Not quite a main slayer, nothing crazy, but he's always roughly around like a 1.0. Now he's balling out. Now he is having a phenomenal time. 2 KD in the first hardpoint. Again, he went and tied and or, you know, broke the record for longest spree we've seen this year in hardpoint at 11. And in the control, he was doing the exact same thing. So I think it's a main AR battle. Scrapz and Clay, that's who the attention's on.
Scrapz and Clay. Knowing that, because we now get ourselves into HyDra. Sweet sky cam action there from the entire team. Shout out the Hot Hands Lounge. And the hard we go. Pistols, though. That was the battle. The opening fight actually took place underwater. First bloods, you don't always expect to see it, but Vegas now, we've seen these guys hit some incredible comebacks on this map. Can Maddie Marshall now emerge from the depths, spring to life?
Well, finds at least a freebie in this moment in Vegas. I was going to say those arrows need to turn, but where number 2, Clayster actually turns and runs back. I think Asim just found the open lane. So what a play right there, actually, from Scrapz and Asim, and the spawn split as well. That was beautiful on the minimap and worth breaking down for sure. I'm telling you, Scrapz made some noise. Asim finds the open lane, and obviously Vegas do have the lead, but at least for the rotation, London have set themselves up for a decent bit of success.
Great success going into P2 now. 28 seconds was the lead that Vegas had managed to garner from P1. Now looking at both flanks they're trying to pinch open. Proluke, good work there on the inside of Dome. Now rolling forward. Nastie's the man on the point. Holding it down solo. Gets himself the first. No trophies to be found. You can hit those nades ringing out over the top side. But kills, though, for the Ravens, John. They're keeping it all going, keeping it close as they like, and still finding the time.
Yeah, I think Nastie, though, a little bit scared. I think the trophies are certainly surrounding him, and a teammate to start things off is going to be an open door. And if Scrapz, if you're going to kill your teammate, you better deliver and kill everybody else. Your man to watch for a reason. In Scrapz, he picks up a 3, and I mean, just sets up Nastie for the freebie towards the end. So a perfect hold so far. As again, Scrapz has been on point this series.
Slay it. Seems going for a swim. Temp's not going to spot him out. Seems going to get round the back. Actually, maybe not. We'll see how this looks. Oh, this is awkward. Ah, That's awkward. Get him, Asim. Chase him down.
Oh, no.
Got a knife? What's he got? It's an awkward fight.
Oh, God, I hate it.
Baby, that's what I'm talking about. You gotta come prepared on HyDra. There you go.
I believe the second pistol kill we've seen. I think Scrapz had a pistol kill in the water earlier on as well. So preparation is key. Gunny is key. How do you win that gunfight and at least partially get those back spawns that Clayster didn't actually end up blocking, but he does read it? So a lot of these London players are going to be all over the map. And if Clayster reads the back spawns on this end, they actually read the sort of pushed out spawns as well. Prelude hasn't turned around just yet. And London have the full pinch on this hill.
Full pinch. Wow. But Tim's got one of the flanks covered. That's it. Clean sweep all members of Vegas Legion down. Hardpoint London.
Yeah, and look at that mini-map too. Number 2, Clayster just fought Paul X on the far right side of the map, where Vegas players are spawning on the far left. So this is London again, effectively able to handle the rotation game. Again, Paul X just wins a massive gunfight to get his teammates spawned up, at least 3 of them, because now Asim is going to be gifted potential flank as well.
So many gifts on HyDra. The gift, it just keeps on giving. Asim once again. Quick bit of a dip, quick bit of a swim. He's not trying to cool himself off. He's trying to get himself into the fight as fast and safely as possible. Nastie doing what he can there from the inside of Ruins. Good shots there with the Vaznev. Open hard point for now. Vegas has still got control of the spawns. And Nastie finds something here on the back end towards Temp, who's also taking a bit of a dip, trying to lock down this side of the map. Nastie goes for a bit of freak climbing there, gets himself taken care of, and we are slowly but surely looking at a Vegas Legion lead change.
Yeah, Paul X, though, at least looking to kill a couple of these players towards the back end. It's not actually the case. And, you know, we call it a gift spawn for Asim to potentially be on the pinch, but it's really just awkward more than a gift of, like, you have to be on point with keeping track of players, because Vegas effectively just leave Asim in the dust and go and break those back spawns to actually get control of the hill. So sometimes it's a gift, sometimes it punishes you. And, well, if you talk about the rotation game right now, Vegas worried about being punished as London set up full control on the rotation once again.
So far, so good for the London Royal Ravens. Now Vegas on the approach, trying to get themselves back into this game, try to get the lead. Let's go for a listen in. Las Vegas Legion.
Flowers, he's on the flower. Flowers rock, looking road. Flowers rock, looking road. Top and ruins. Flowers rock, one left.
Back left, Scrapz.
Got him.
Soldier red on. Be 2 on time.
Challenge.
One shot.
One shot. Spawning trail on you after that.
Ruins.
Fight to get in hill.
Nice shot.
Nice, baby. I spawned here.
Turn your back. Window. I need window. I got him in the back. Nice 3. Missing missing.
Have your broken.
Scrapz first guy. I'm just
Spawning
spawning the back
dome.
Did they?
Rotating. He's in broken.
Go
in
mid,
broken,
go
Nastie.
mid.
In broken, Nastie.
Let's do it. Going to the right here.
Pop it in.
Middle of the
I'll
right.
play red slow. I'll play red slow.
You ain't on the jab broken for me.
Choice words. A little bit Larry. For those using subtitles, I would have been fascinated to have heard what that sounded like. So here we go. Ravens in control of P1 for now. Scrapz is going to clean these players up. Thieves does absolutely nothing from the hop up there, sadly. And Temp doing everything he possibly can to fly forward. Here comes the hit though on the hard point. Up close and personal. Prelude's in. Able to get too much out of this. Yeah, behind enemy lines. You can see a barrel or two, but Nasty great coverage from up top. Temp now trying to get back into the mix. Good timing here. The tack up close does get it done. There's a full set of kills. Ravens on the back foot.
Yeah, I feel like TJ has a lot of those awkward moments with the water gunfight, so he's not always quite well prepared for it, and you got to be prepared for the potential rotation coming through. Asim is trying to make the exact same play once again. You had number for Pro Loop there to take him down, so maybe for the first time in a long time, Vegas is actually truly set up on a rotation. They have control of the map. We're going towards a money hill and an opportunity for them to try to take this lead and run it up as much as possible.
Here we go. Lead change. Vegas finally now have the hard point in their hands. P2 rotation's absolutely perfect. Can they identify the attack though from where the Ravens are coming from? Here we go. 2 members through ruins, 2 right through mid. Pro lose guns facing the wrong way for now, but in a moment the battle will be on his doorstep. TJ trying to help out, can't get it done. There's the trades. Ravens in the back line though. Do they have spawns there? No, spawns are bloody all over the place. This is going to get awkward.
Yeah, that is a parallel and a half, except the back spawns just now come through, and Prolude has not read this at all. And maybe in the final moments he's going to turn, but he opens up the door to death, and Asim is the one that's there to kill him and take him down. And now the foot race potentially for the new spawns as well. I can't tell. I think Nastie's in the water, but London are just going to spawn on the left side of the map. because Nastie wins the gunfight down low. So you have an interesting break where it's not quite the full 60. Vegas do build up a little bit of a lead, but obviously when you're going over towards new, London have the setup. Number 5 should be blocking those spawns on the far left side as well. Asim's got the mid-map cutoffs as well. London's turn to try to get that lead back in their hands.
Trying to set up, but it's not easy when Naves have hit every single possible window now. Nastie's backed on up, has to lose the power position, and Vegas are in, baby. They're breaking and entering through not only the top but the bottom side as well. Scrapz in an impossible gunfight. Nice angles found there from Vegas onto the point again. Proloot, Praise are there. Nastie now back on spawn. Straight into the mix indeed, and it is non-stop action on the point. It is furious, and the Ravens have come out on top.
Yeah, Nastie's been snappy so far this series as well. A couple nice gunfights go his way, and right now, if you're Vegas, I think you try to cut your losses, get these players off the time if you can, and TJ and Proloot absolutely deliver. They pick up 3 and strip away an extra few seconds. As you can already see on the minimap, Clayster getting set up on rotation. Him and TJ will be the first ones there, so decent job by London. Get a little bit of time, but Vegas at least maintain that lead. But we already talked about HyDra. We already talked about Vegas. We know it's going to be a nail biter, effectively close to tied up going into no.
Scrapz, smooth read on a Clayster there. Got a little bit too ambitious on the push forward now. A very close hard point still. Here comes Scrapz on the approach. Nice work.
Oh, that's so easy.
Absolutely bodied them on the back line of the hard point. It's all theirs. Here comes the lead change again.
And that's just unreal. I mean, you get fully set up on that rotation, and Vegas just like, what, don't win a single gunfight and get broken in the first 10 seconds of it. So what could have been easy now is going to be that much more difficult. Now you're going to have to fly at this hill and try to stop them from collecting these final 30 seconds. As London absolutely have a decent little lead as this game continues, and Paul inside the hill in his happy place. The teammates have the coverage. It's only a nade that can slow them down, but it'll be about a 30-35 second lead going into new. And by the way, look at where Paul X just spawned. A little bit of hide and seek action until this hill pops.
Yeah, we are over 200 points now for the Ravens, and this is match point for them. Oh, baby. Hard points up in a moment, and TJ's going to be the man there to get it. He does for the big fight. Stays alive. Pressure now on. The Ravens going to try to pinch in, and they do. Great work out on London. The teamwork is flowing. 210 and climbing. This is the final moments for Vegas.
And it really does feel like GG to me, because you're going to have to run just straight through the front side of the map. And Paul X reading everything. Clayster maybe finds a small opening for his teammates to get nearby, but your trades still have to be on point. And Scrapz does get traded out. Temp is there for the next kill, but you got Nastie just waiting in the wings. Picks up the big 2 and trying to shut the door in their face.
Here we go. There's plenty of damn doors on this map. And these boys are talking about closing them. Here we go. Final few moments, Vegas. Get it going. Paul's got a door covered. Quick contest. TJ can't win a fight. Oh my God, over the top, and it's fire. It's Plumridge. He can't get the third, but there's Temp in. The time's still going. Final 10. It's got to be over now. Surely. Referee, blow the whistle. It's nearly done. Can Asim win the fight? No, it's a few seconds. The rotations are on. The hard point not quite over yet.
Well, if we're looking at that rotation, Paul X here, he does get taken down, and Vegas in control for the moment, but it's not just this hill, it's the next one. Vegas have to go 2 for 2 to try to get this comeback win, and that is not the start that you wanted to have. A couple players fall in the feed, dive bomb towards the point. It's TJ that has to go massive to keep his team alive, and he's going to fall, and more importantly, you've lost those spawns as well. London should be a cakewalk from here.
And they're in. Can't stop it. It's over. It's done. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Ravens have walked away with a 3-1 over Las Vegas Legion, and all of the pick'ems are chalked.
And it is just the anti-respawn team. Vegas just one of those squads that they'll even make London look elite and make some players like Scrapz, who, again, he's been fine since his introduction, but this series looked like an absolute god. I mean, his hardpoint KD, he just probably threw up a 1.7, 1.8 overall. Even in this one, 29 and 17, led the lobby in damage, 22 non-tradeds. I mean, everything you could possibly want. And exactly what we saw in the first hardpoint. Like, a theme for London is Asim has been their superstar. Both the hardpoints is like the traditional experience of what we're used to from Asim, of where he's the guy being the route man, trying to flip those spawns, and his teammates are just the ones slaying around him. I mean, that's sort of the hardpoint style I think you want to see if you're a London fan, and they deliver here in this series, go 2 for 2, win the control as well, and that's sort of the tale of tape, the way to find success against Vegas Legion.
Hey, GG's, there we go. 3-1. Vegas only managing to walk away with the search and destroy. 6-2 there, and of course, we'll never forget 4legs. But that is a great turnaround for the Ravens, one they desperately needed, and again, in the campaign towards the Boston Major. Hey man, you needed a win sooner rather than later. Starting to get that form going, and at the very possible best time, because we're nearly there in Boston. Wow, crazy stuff. Whether it's your channel points, who most of you are now going to be absolutely running empty on, the pick'ems, or some folks, mostly myself, on the breaking point stats. What a day to stop picking London. Crazy stuff. Desk, how are you doing? Because I saw all three of you went Vegas.
We're perfect here on the Desk on a fantastic Sunday. We saw this one coming. Also, chat, while we have them up there, how many days before Chance's beard overtakes Miles' beard? Is it like 4 more days? 2 weeks, Allie?
I feel like Chance's beard is at a point where like it's stuck. Like I don't know if it can go past like that point.
Yo, come on.
Look at his face.
Listen, my beard
am I wrong? Do you trim it up to that length?
Chance, keep growing it all the way through Boston, please. We'll see Miles later. He'll brag about his terrible predictions. And please stop following mine. I was good for Friday. 1 out of 3 days is good enough for me. Let's talk about this match, though, because we nailed it with our pre-game talk. If London was going to win, they needed somebody to shine. Scrapz was that guy we highlighted, and game number 1, he came out making a statement and carried it through this entire series, Allie.
30-14. Like, this is not what I expected from Scrapz. It's what London Royal Ravens needed for sure. But from that first series that we saw from him when he was plugged into this London Royal Ravens roster, he wasn't necessarily doing bad, but it was nothing compared to the absolute monstrosity we got to witness in this series. Now I'm wondering if we're going to see this Scrapz the whole season.
Yeah, you never doubted him, did you, Nameless? You're like, oh, it's the old Scrapz. He'll be right back to his old form.
No, I was definitely doubting. You know, I talked about it, though, before this match. Like, he got thrown into a pretty bad system, a team that is making a ton of changes, and what they need out of him is the plays that we just saw. I think our editing team did a great job right there showing that P7. Like, when your SMGs are dead in rotation, you're last alive, they needed somebody to be able to make those plays in the back, picking up those kills, to just stop the push from the opposition, and that's what he was doing throughout that. He also had an 11 streak. I think that breaks our record of a streak in hardpoint, which is wonderful. But a bit of a surprising win. I think it caught all of us off by guard, so we'll see if they can continue.
They get wins in the first week of Major number 1 qualifiers. Now they get their second, or I guess third win of the season now in the second week of Major 2 qualifiers. If you're looking for good plays from the Legion, though, you had them throughout this series. They had some great moments, and this was our Scump play of the game. TJ with the ace. He beat Paul X the round before, and this round, when it comes down to the 1v1, he scares Paul off the map.
You know, it's funny, right during this play, Chris, you're like, what makes TJ so good at S&D? And, you know, we're talking about it. It's like his awareness, you know, he knows where people are going to be at. He jumps that corner, gets the guy up top on the plat, and then he goes inside, finds Paul up top, gets the shots, but he jumps down, and then Paul, trying to evade TJ, jumps out of the map, and you can see the reaction there. Just a tough loss, and then Clay sort of relishing that moment like, yeah, I've been there, man. I know how it feels, but it looks way better from this point of view.
Allie, awesome stuff in the searches still from Vegas. Control could have been their map as well. This could have gone to a game 5 in which we'd have to think Vegas is the favorite to win it.
And it's heartbreaking because in the opening of that Control, it was that push towards B that Ant pointed out that was like, that was beautiful by the Vegas Legion, and yet they still weren't able to capitalize and win that first offensive round, and they even almost bring it back to trying to do that reverse sweep, but then it's the very end of that A cap, and unfortunately, Prolud had Daddy popped. I'm sitting there, I'm like, Prolud go, and Ant was trying to be like, no, he's waiting for his teammates on the flank, but I'm like, but he has Daddy popped, like they won't know he's there, and unfortunately are unable to make the comeback.
And it's those situations too, right? Like he's waiting for his teammate to flank, but then he checks refrigerator door. Like you have to communicate a little better if you're in that situation and you're the Vegas Legion. Concerning for them though, in these hard points, a big thing that we should point out is Clay has to pick it up. I mean, we're seeing, we saw the arrows on the side of Legion, or on the side of Royal Ravens popping off. Clay throughout the series, it had to be his worst performance we've seen so far in this game. So that's concerning.
We give him his flowers when he's doing well. Fair of Ant to call out when he was struggling, and he got beat on a number of those rotations. Today, though, let's take a look at our 5-game series because it only went to game number 4. All 3 of us dead wrong with our predictions as the London Royal Ravens, their second time around with this lineup, are finding success. Allie, there's still 11 other teams in this league. Who else could they match up well against after seeing their games today?
Man. The answer you're going to get from that, maybe Florida. I think this is a testament to what Scrapz is capable of doing, but I still think London was lacking some teamwork in this series. And for the side of Vegas Legion, it's just their respawn woes still. They couldn't win a control. They were still panicking at the end of the hard points. I think the story with Vegas Legion is going to be, if it goes to a game 5, they're going to win the series. If it goes to the game 4, unfortunately, it's not going to go their way.
We have Scrapz loading up for the interview here in just a few moments. Send us your questions for Scrapz, one of the old members here in competitive Call of Duty, making his return after the sabbatical. Real quick, though, let's remind you what you can get right now. It's live on CallOfDutyLeague.com. We have the finest gear in the game. Represent your team loud and proud as we head to Boston. Pick up your jerseys today. And if you don't come to Boston, you can't wear your jersey in person, don't worry. You can wear it in game. We got the team packs, all of these contributing to the success of our franchises here at the Call of Duty League.
Yeah, I might have to rock a London Royal Ravens skin, honestly. I was throwing a lot of shade at them before that match. Now, granted, they did beat Vegas Legion and Respawn, who are one of the worst Respawn teams that we have. But, respect where respect is due. They did get that victory and proved us wrong. I'm going to put that skin on.
I know Odie's going to be smiling somewhere today. Shout out to the old man, one of the originals in esports. aLLeY, as we look forward for the London Royal Ravens, is Scrapz still the guy to watch? Was this more of a team effort? Can Scrapz do this consistently for the Royal Ravens?
I'd say this entire team is they're all players to watch. I mean, Scrapz did incredible today, and I'm hoping for that consistency, but you still need more out of Nastie. You still need more out of Pollux. I'm wondering if maybe this team can gel if they all get on cylinders at the same time, but I'm still worried for London Royal Ravens going forward.
All right, I'm not sure if we're able to get Scrapz on. We're talking to him right now, trying to get him back in his seat to get this one loaded up. As we're reflecting, though, let's tell the audience, I know there's a lot of new fans here in Call of Duty. Where did Scrapz first come from? How long has he been in the league? And what are you expecting for him the remainder of this season? Because London making some power moves, putting Trey on the bench, putting Scrapz in when Trey was still in the lineup, and now taking out Trey and putting Paul back in.
Yeah, so talking about Scrapz, I mean, he's sort of pre-CDL era was when he was in the top echelon of players. We're talking like World War II, Infinite Warfare, back in that time. He was a demon on the map going up against them. That Red Reserve team, they had some top 2 placings. We've seen him popping off, and he was always the guy who was sort of that flex player. He could use the SMG or the AR, get a bunch of kills, and that's what we were hoping for when the CDL era started. Some unfortunate circumstances with their London Royal Ravens team. They had issues. They weren't able to get it going together. He ends up getting benched on that roster and then off of the league entirely, right, after the stint with the Paris Legion as well. So it's nice to see him back, and it's nice to see him popping off once again, especially on the London Royal Ravens, because he is Europe's favorite player.
And he is live with us right now. Scrapz, thank you so much for joining us here on Headquarters. Congratulations on your first W back in action here at the CDL. And I want to ask you first and foremost, everyone in the chat, some people on Reddit are talking about, is there beef between Scrapz and Paul? Paul breaking the news before you could when you first joined the London Royal Ravens. Is there any beef to worry about here?
No, don't be silly. All I said was it was just immature of him to, tweet out our roster when things are going bad on his end. But I spoke to him after it, and he apologised. He texted me and said, "Don't worry about it. We all make mistakes." And yeah, I love Paul. I've been enjoying this last week playing with him.
Pros through and through. First off, tell me about this hardpoint performance you had in game number 1. You come out, you drop a 30 bomb on us. You set the record for 11 kills in a streak that is leading the league right now in HP. What was working for you early on?
I didn't even know that, to be fair. Thank you. Dom's been getting on my back all week. We've been going over gameplay, even when Trey was in the team. We go back after the long days and watch VOD all day because of how many mistakes and stuff we was making. So I think that helped out a lot, to be honest, and that helped the process speed up a lot more because we have been forcing all 3 game modes into like the last 2 weeks, and it's been hard, but it's been very worth it. Process.
And obviously, we haven't seen you in quite some time in the Pro League scene. What has it been like for you getting kind of plugged into the chaos that is the London Royal Ravens roster and kind of getting back in the swing of things?
I've been enjoying it. I did miss it a lot. I don't regret taking that year off at all. I'm playing Warzone and not being in the loop, but I'm glad I did that. I learned a lot from that. I've come back a totally different person. I'm obsessed this time around, and I know how to be in and out of game around my people, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Maddie, my guy, listen, I love seeing you pop off in that series, and you've been gone for a while, as you just talked about, and you said you've come back a totally new person. What are some things that you've adjusted from the last time we saw you as a pro player, as a teammate now in the CDL?
Just the way I am as a person. I feel like I was a lot more selfish the first time around. I was a lot more interested in what other people thought outside the game. Just stuff like that, little things, just immature things. And, you know, took that out of my game, and I'm all about who's around me now, and, you know, don't care what anybody else thinks.
Listen, I got one more question. Now, listen, I know you got a twin brother, my guy Bradley over there, Wuskin. Is he ever going to try to come back and get in the CDL?
I'm not sure. Obviously, he was playing at the start, but he didn't really enjoy it. He's been doing his own thing, obviously doing whatever else we can't really speak about, but he's still doing good. He's chilling at home. I FaceTime him every day. I miss him. Yeah. And I'm back to do what we both set out to originally, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, well, we'll let you go FaceTime your twin brother. Bring him to Boston for us. We can't wait to see you in person once again.
Big Woo.
I keep telling him to get his jabs and get out here and come chill at ours, because Dom even said he can come stream from here and chill with the boys, but he's just lazy. You know, it's hard to get him out of his room, so I'm looking forward to seeing him for sure.
Scrapz, thank you so much. I got to wrap this because we have another matchup loading up. That is the London Royal Ravens with their first win since opening week. When we come back, we got an epic showdown. The Guerrillas are up next on the main stage.